Okay guys, that's eventually where we're gonna hike down to. We have to, well, we could either go this cliff route down there, see that big steep, or I will show you the path. It's insane. Come on, Bubba. Francis, come here. I just want to show you guys. Hey, Francis, get away from me. Right down there. That's what we'll be climbing down, is that path right there. To get down to there. Freaking insane is what it is. Hope we can do it with my wilderness dog. Okay guys, so I'm going to show you around. I love this little spot right here. Isn't that pretty? And I'll show you a little bit more. Do it. Kind of a popular swim spot. Francis, get over here. Okay guys, so I hiked down to where the waterfall was. I wanted to show you. There it is. Isn't that stunning? And that's my playground. That's where I play all of my life. I'll show you the second one. So, right there. See? And then, you can see my background. Isn't it stunning? Totally playing here today. Working out playing anyway. So look at this amazing swimming hole. Super deep in there, you guys don't see it. Oh, watch this. Come over here. Look at that. Isn't that crazy gorgeous? This is where people from the Northwest get to go and play. Hi guys, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and I brought you to another cool spot of mine. It's called Naked Falls. And there is a stream of, like, a ton of these different kinds of falls. All up and down here, and they all offer different things. So I gave you kind of a little tour of some of the waterfalls that everybody loves to play in. But this is like, it looks like Jurassic Park, and I'm going to give you a little tour. Let's show you. And if I look out, I'm in this little gully, and that's my view. Isn't it amazing where I am? Like, man, the Northwest. Every time I think about leaving it, I think about leaving spots like this, and I'm like, I can't do it. I don't think I can do it. Because it's too pretty here. It's like a movie all the time. So the reason I brought you guys here is because I really need to talk to you about something that is very dear to me. So I get hundreds of messages from people, and I get lots of requests for me to help them. And I simply don't have the time. And that sounds terrible to say out loud, because the whole point of my channel is to give you guys aids to help you. That's ideally what I always wanted to do, but you know, I have a full-time job, and I mean, I don't have a big, I don't have really a social life, but I do have my kids and obligations with them, so it does make it difficult for me, especially if I want to have some personal time like this to go take a hike, to be able to get to all of my Facebook messages, all my emails, all my comments in my YouTube channel. And so I really just want to talk to you about some of the things that has been extremely difficult for me. So last night I was really tired. I had a little extra time. I have 2 days off extra. And so I've been trying to get a lot of my my work done. And, you know, somebody sent me a comment that says, these energies are getting so bad, I can't deal with them. I just want to die. I would rather die than keep dealing with the amount of input and the amount of energies that the universe is asking me to deal with. Now, the whole point of my channel initially was to make a forum for empaths to go to so that they could deal with the fact that they are an empath. What I wouldn't have given for somebody like me to sit me down and say, there are ways to cope with energy. There are highs and lows in energy. And so I'm not really doing that because I'm so busy doing dailies and monthlies. So when the energies are this negative, that means we are in a lot of quincunxes, which is just flat opposition. These energies will not work together. You have two energies that kind of see things differently, and they can't see eye to eye at all. And then we have squares, which means it takes an energy and pulls it into the lower vibration of that energy source. I'm going to give you a for instance because it's been a transit that's been very difficult for a lot of us, and it is not getting any easier. In fact, as Saturn is tying up its loose ends in Scorpio, it seems like a lot of people are feeling these energies very magnified in their lives. And so what I want to say is, when you have energy being pulled into a lower vibration, it essentially pulls out the worst attributes in that energy. There you go, Papa. There you go. So when Saturn is in Scorpio, the low vibration of that transit is that you feel more fear, you feel more loss, you succumb to loss, you lose loved ones, you lose pets, you experience a death of something, a death of ego, a death of identity, a death of a way of life that you used to identify yourself with. This Saturn transit was very difficult because it brought up some really old wounds before it went direct. And so when it did that, it essentially made it very difficult for us to pull ourselves out of that energy. It's a very dark energy. It's ruled by Pluto. And Pluto is the ruler of the underworld. It's the ruler of our fears. It's the ruler of our anxieties, our perversions, our secrets, our deep, dark secrets. And many people are experiencing coming out of the closet, you know, becoming very real and authentic. And through that, people are starting to feel like, wow, who were you this whole time? Because you certainly weren't that person that you're portraying yourself as. I know that I have saw loved ones in a completely different way since Pluto came out. I mean, since this whole Saturn energy, I have really dug deep into some of my childhood, and a lot of that can be attributed to the Leo energy that has been in such focus and often opposed, and often having Jupiter right next to it, and Jupiter was in it. So it expanded a lot of our childhood issues, our childhood belief systems. It's challenged some of our childhood relationships or our family relationships. It's been completely very difficult. I'm not going to lie about this. And so what many of you are experiencing is just kind of the fallout of the realities of these situations. And so I had a comment from a viewer who's on my Facebook as my friend. And she said that, you know, she knows that she's not my friend, but she just would rather check out than deal with feeling other people's energies. So even if you're not going through it and you're an empath, you feel others go through it. I woke up this morning, was out of my skin. The only way that I know how to describe how I feel when these energies get to me is to say that it's kind of like I'm not in my own skin. I feel like I'm itching from the inside out in my skin. I feel panicky for no reason. I mean, my eyes open and I feel this way. I feel uneasiness, anxiousness, loss of focus, feeling like I gotta, my fight and flight response is ignited. And these are this is all coming at you from the second I open my eyes. So this isn't because of something happened in my past or something that I'm dealing with or something that happened the night before, because the night before I'd had a great night. It was just, there's a lot of quincunx energy and a lot of energy asking us to face some very, very tough things. And also that comment was very difficult for me. I had read it the day before, and I just feel like I'm not doing enough for you guys. Like, you're not getting enough from me, and I want to go save the world. Like, you're not odd to be an empath. You're just, for me, it's kind of like if you've ever saw the show Heroes, and if you haven't and you're an empath, you need to. Because what you need to do is you need to understand there's something special about you. And it's very difficult to harness and control and to even articulate what's different. The problem is that psychologists want to say that there's something wrong with you and want to medicate you. But there's nothing. You are just having a really hard time learning how to deal with who you are as an empath. That's it. When input is coming in like that, and it's extremely dark and negative energy, and you absorb it, it is really hard to know how to route it. It's really hard to know how to turn it off when you need to turn it off and be able to become a functioning person, because it's hard to function when there's so much coming in. It's depleting you. It depletes your energy levels. It depletes your psychological strength. It depletes you want to run and get away from it, but what you don't understand is as soon as I walk outside, that's when the energy sources get way worse. Actually, in my shell, I feel like it's almost like a protective barrier, or I have it interpreted psychologically like it's a protective barrier. And so in my shell, I don't feel the energies quite as much as I do as soon as I go out into the world and start to deal with what I'm going through. So I want you to know that as an empath, the need to want to check out is ridiculous. You just need to learn, like every other superhero out there, that you have some abilities that you need to get a hold on, that you need to get under control. You need to develop filters. You need to develop levers to turn energy off and on. And I have not mastered it. I'm not going to lie, especially since I'm so exposed to energy levels because of my channel and because of Facebook interactions and because I teach. So I am nothing but around people to absorb people. So I think there is definitely something to be said for trying to find a way to get a control of it. And I do the same thing. I want to run. I want to get away from it. That's why I went up here to talk about this, because when I received that message, it was so upsetting and disturbing for me, because I get it. I feel it. I feel all of this so deeply. And on my Facebook, I often say, today's a hard day. And when I say that, I mean today is kicking my ass. And I am receiving more input than I can deal with. And I am usually experiencing anxiety when I'm telling you that. I'm usually feeling antsy from the inside. I'm usually trying to find a way, much like you, to stop the input and stop all this input, and having a hard time turning it off at that point. So I like to warn you guys of that, because I know if I'm experiencing it, then fellow empaths are. So my suggestion to you is get away from the sources that are dragging you down. And if you can't, maybe it's just walking out into the air and the universe, you just absorb it. And that's what I do. I don't like that I do it, but I know I can feel when the energies are working now. And I know that if I'm being dramatic and antsy and aggressive, I know Aries is working in a lower vibration in me, and I know to stop allowing that energy source to consume me in a negative way. That I need to tap into being assertive and being self-confident and being a warrior in those energies. I need to not let them suck me down. Don't want to hear you guys talk about checking out again. For one thing, I can't effing deal with it. I can't take that mentally on, because I wasn't there to help you. And two, it is a decision to let this energy get to you. I know this. I know this. I'm not saying that the energies don't impact you like a ton of bricks in the face, and that you don't always have control over what's coming at you. You don't, because that you're just absorbing the energy in the universe. So I'm not trying to disregard what you're going through, but know that's negative energy trying to infiltrate the positive energy sources that we could be going through and feeling. And that we can't let it happen. We can't let energy win and people win and circumstances win. We can't succumb to fear anymore. Get sick of it. Get pissed. Get done. Leave the situation. Find a new beginning. Let it transform you. Saturn in Scorpio has been difficult. Probably one of the hardest transits. I think it's well, you know, Pluto, Uranus squares are pretty freaking difficult. But Saturn was right there, right along with them, just jabbing a knife in you, open wounds, like it was just a hardcore transit. And it really has made most of us very fearful of things that we should not be fearful of. But because we have been so inundated with these negative energy sources, we are now at the point we look at the negativity as a normal feeling and we succumb. Because that's what we've always done. We can't succumb anymore, guys. We can't talk about checking out. I know you want to. I know you do. God help me. I know you do. So do I. But I'm done being a freaking victim of my circumstance. I'm done. This is all bullshit. with energy trying to get the better of me. It's getting to the point where it's like, you want to take me on? I'm going to show you a little Aries kick-ass in about 5 minutes, because it's trying the hell out of Leo. That's ego versus ego, and it's trying me. So I can either do nothing about it and get all lackadaisy and fall in some poor-ass coping method that's really, I'm going to have to pick myself up again, or I'm going to take all that Aries and Leo energy and I'm going to go kick its ass. I'm done. Stop. Just get control over your mental faculties. When you are feeling something, this is what I'm starting to do. When you're feeling it, I want you guys to sit down and write down that trigger. What triggered it? What triggered your fight and flight response? That wanting to check out feeling, that wanting to die feeling, that wanting to get away, and that panic and that anxiety. I want you to write down the moment that you felt it switch. What was it? I don't care if it was getting a cup of coffee. And then, what time was it? Okay? And then, if you're listening to my report, and you know that we're experiencing a yod in some negative energies, we're having quincunxes in a yod, testing whether or not we're going to escape, I'm going to try to get more exact in when these energies are going on throughout the day, so that you guys can have some sort of energy guide to say, oh, I got sucked down into the slow energy at about 11. At about 11, and it said there was a yod going on, and I'm supposed to be being asked this question, but by night, it's going to get better. I'm going to try to make my readings more like that, so that we know when these energy sources turn and switch and change. We are all trying to figure out how to regulate, how to be powerful in these energies, how to adapt, how to ascend. When we're going through ascension symptoms, we're essentially understanding, wow, we do absorb energy. We do feel when energy shifts. We do feel powerful transits. And when we start having that reality check, and we accept it, we're not feeling crazy or loony for thinking that way, or we're not letting other people make us believe that, you know, oh, you're just losing it because that stuff isn't real. Fine, this is a journey all of your own, sweetie. Don't expect people who haven't been awakened or enlightened or aren't empaths to get what you are. That's like the people in Heroes, which is a great theory if you're trying to adapt to a new you, a new self, and new abilities and ascension. You should watch it. It's on Netflix. And what you need to do is learn how to harness it and control it. And that only comes from when you know it's triggered. So you're writing down all of the times that it's being triggered. You're looking at, I write down in in the comments below, in the information box, I write down all the energies that are at play. And if you guys can take a look at the energies that you may be sensitive to, I'm very sensitive to Saturn energy, because Saturn's in my 12th house, and that is where I will always be challenged. I will always feel others suffering. Now, at first, that kicked my ass. At first, I thought, oh my God, I'm going to be doomed to a life of sorrow and sadness and, you know, a life of inner turmoil my whole life. And I wanted to check out when I realized that. I wanted to say, you know, that's not freaking fair that when I was born, Saturn was in my 12th house. Sorry, my dog kind of took off. I just want to make sure it didn't go to a very dangerous area. Anyhow, you're writing down all your triggers. You're writing down the areas where you feel the most vulnerable. You're writing down strengths in your day, weaknesses in your day. I think those are completely essential. And you know, you guys are learning how to get control over your own power, over your own personal power. You can't do that if you're trying to run away from it, if you're not accepting you're an empath, if you're not accepting that there is some sort of control. Saturn is direct right now. It's trying to teach you how to control all of this stuff. It's the planet of control. So if it's giving you these drastic highs and lows for you to learn how to control your energy levels. And it's doing it the School of Hard Knocks way, which is the only way Saturn really likes to teach us. So don't let that be a problem for you. Don't succumb to it. Don't let it beat you. We're not here to check out when it gets hard. We're here to show that we can survive. And as you get older, sweeties, I'm 45, it doesn't get easier. It gets harder. So if you don't learn these skills at a very young age, when you're being awakened to them and there are supportive energy, then you are going to be shit out of luck when you're older. Because then the energies are just going to make you cold, callous, lost. It's going to make you a narcissist. You're going to go through narcissistic injuries from people and taking advantage of you and your kindness, and you're going to suck a lot of energy vampires to you that suck you dry. And pretty soon, before you know it, you'll start avoiding people, and you'll start avoiding any amount of situation that could cause you to feel anything. I know I invented all of these problems, but I'm also done. You know what? This is my life. I want to be in nature. I want, if it gets rough, I'm out of here. But I'm not out of here mentally checking out, gonna take drugs or drink alcohol or go into self-sabotaging behaviors. I'm gonna go hiking and I'm gonna suck in nature and I'm gonna touch what it's like to live authentic. A tree grows out of a rock. Watch this. I don't know how well you guys see that. Its root system is exposed in a rock. And yet, you know what? It survived. It's here. It's living. It's thriving. It's healthy. It's reaching for the sun. It found a way to find the sun on the edge of a cliff, growing out of rocks where its total roots were exposed, where it was vulnerable. And it got alive and it made it. If that's not something to look at and appreciate and go, oh my God, why am I not more like that? We don't have a lot of really good, positive role models. We just don't. Our role models are like Kim Kardashian and famous people and Donald Trump and rich people who get rich at the expense of other people, get rich off of being a narcissist, off of being self-oriented, and then we pattern our lives after that, and then that's what we try to achieve. We don't want to survive. We don't want to say that we beat insurmountable odds, because we just want somebody to go in there and take care of our life and give all that to us, and that's how we survive it, and that's how we make it. But guys, that's so not the whole freaking point. What I'm trying to say is, when you leave me comments that are that overwhelming to me, they affect me. They hurt me. I feel you. And I'm lost for you. And I want to make you better, but oh my God, I can't. And I wish I had all the time in the world. I wish I could win the lottery, because what I would do is I would have a trailer so I could travel home. I'd travel all over the world. I would meet with people. I would make my channel, and I would find a way to motivate people to just accept that you're an empath. Accept that you're different. Accept that you absorb energy, and it's rough. Honey, it's rough. Accept that We all fall. Every single person, even famous people, they're all human. They're all just like you. I know that being an empath kicks up being human a notch. I'm not going to lie, but I also feel beauty deeper than most people. I also feel connected to nature, and it's almost like I feel their little soul. I feel animals, and I look at their faces, and I connect with them. There's lots of good that comes with being with an empath, but, you know, there's a lot of bad, and there's a lot of very scary. But I really am going to try to focus more on the empath world, because I think I need to be giving you guys a little bit more support, because I'm feeling like I'm losing track of that. So please don't check out. Please don't think about killing yourself. Please don't think these energies won't pass. They will pass. Eventually, all this energy is going to pass. You're tough. Look in the mirror. Get a little Aries pissed off and a little Leo roaring you, and go kick the world's ass. And don't yield. You're not the yielding kind. You know what? You're a warrior. You are fighting an army of your soul for your life, for your mental stability, for your mental peace, for balance, for your heart to be fulfilled again, for living authentic. You've got a lot to do, and the energies are gonna twist you, honey. Okay, let's just put it this way. If God, spirit, energy, aliens, I don't care what you think, if they didn't think you were worth it, you wouldn't even be feeling ascension symptoms. So get that through your head. That there's obviously something super special about you, or you wouldn't be feeling what you're feeling. So, I love you. Don't forget that. Like, there are just good people in the world, and they don't want anything. I just love to give everybody a big freaking hug and look into their eyes and make them feel wonderful, because that's what you deserve. Anyhow, take care, honey. And to the one who gave me the comment, please don't do anything drastic. Just every day tune in. Even if it's just to look at the pretty background, if you're not in a place where you can do that, or the capacity to be able to do that, or don't have a car to do that, just stay with me, okay? We're going to get through it together, and I care very deeply for you. Thank you so much for tuning in to Annette's Astrology Corner, and I'll talk to you again soon.